everybody, my name is Katie Anders. I'm one of the interns here for the summer in PA branch. So a little bit about me. I go to Penn State Berks, so that's in Reading, PA, for those of you who don't know. And I'm also a marketing management major, so pretty exciting. I'm going to be graduating in December of 2022, so that's coming up really soon. And then up here on the screen, you'll see my sisters. So they are triplets, and they just graduated from Boyertown, PA, and that's where I live, so about 40 to 45 minutes from the branch, for perspective. So how I found Uline. So my stepdad owns a metal paint shop, and I was always the one who would unload the deliveries and put them away when they came. So really familiar with like the boxes, stretch, tape, stuff like that. And that kind of built up my brand awareness. Like even our house, the paper towels are literally Uline. So it's pretty great. And when I saw you guys at the virtual career fair, I had to stop by, and when I heard about the opportunities here, like you get treated like a full-time sales rep. You get out in the field, you get to meet the customers. It's just so exciting. So had to apply. And some challenges and successes. So one of my challenges was, of course, scheduling and getting in those dials. Because every Monday I spend a lot of time prospecting, stuff like that, but through the summer, we worked on techniques to kind of get that quicker and get those call numbers up, which was good. And then also prospecting cold calls. So in the beginning of the summer, I would only search by name and see if they were in our database. But by the end of the summer, learning, hey, you go by the address instead, finding the places that really work well, and also just getting out there, and it worked a lot better. Then with touring the warehouses. So in the beginning of the summer, I was really nervous, not really asking too much about the warehouses, but just kind of when you get those conflicts like, hey, it's dirty or small, or I don't have a lot of time, just kind of overcoming that and keep asking, and eventually you'll get there. And then also some successes. So building rapport is really important with your customers because people buy from who they like. So you want to start that call off really well and just kind of, ask some questions, be curious, and be genuine too. Just try to get to know them. And then also specializing demos. So this is a shout out to my mentor, Garrett, and he actually had the idea to not just bring demos from my trunk at the standard stuff, but customize it for each customer. And that way they have something specific to them that they'll be able to use, which is really nice. And then another thing is mapping out the zip codes. So something that I like to do is plan my day where you start all the way far out from home and work your way back. And that's really nice too. And believe it or not, at the beginning of the internship, I wasn't really familiar with the Allentown area. So by the end, now I know like where the airport is, what's in each zip code. So it helps out a lot knowing where you're going. And finally, I did get a cold call sale. So my very first day in the field with my boss, Matt, I actually ended up going to a lady. I knew she was interested in Uline, and she ended up putting in an order for gloves and some trash liners. So really great stuff. And my top accomplishment here, so this was a ride along day with my mentor Garrett, and we ended up going to this one place called One Love Auto Group, and they're in Pottstown. What they do is they sell customized car parts, and they just recently created an app so you can buy it and they'll ship it right to you. So needless to say, they have a lot more shipping needs than what they used to. So we were going in, we were supposed to meet with the guy on the account there, Brian Port, and instead we met with this guy named Anthony Gowell. And we were confused at first, but we realized Anthony's been buying under Brian's name. So we squared that away, got it all cleaned up with the contacts there, and then we kind of showed him the value proposition of Uline, like next day delivery, stuff like that. And we kind of got to understand him better and like his purchasing process to the point where he ended up sending us some items to quote, and we quoted 15 items for him. And that ended up being over a $2,000 sale, which was just a great win and a great experience. So now, some best practices that I learned at Uline. Again, building rapport. That is one of the biggest things because, you kind of gotta create that relationship, and that doesn't come from nowhere. So definitely do that. And then bring demos. As I said, the custom ones, but also the ones that if you're at a cold call, Matt says, be Santa. Just bring along the demos and kind of give them the things there so they have it in their hands and they have that Uline front of mind. And then also have a plan. Have an agenda, know where you're going and who you're meeting with, but at the same time, be ready for that to change. You never know what could happen and what you're walking into. So be flexible, but ready. And then lastly, zip code mapping. Like I said earlier, planning out your day, that's kind of, how it's gonna go. So that's how you can schedule and know where you're going and have a good understanding of that. Lastly, some internship takeaways. So first thing is ask questions. You can't get the answers to things that you don't ask. So constantly be curious, continue to ask those questions, And then also be persistent. So something with that is you know, sometimes, like I said, you don't get the appointment right away. So you kind of have to keep calling and emailing and keep trying, and ultimately you'll get there. So, and then take criticism. So, of course, I'm an intern. I don't know everything, but my managers do. So asking those questions and taking the criticism and then putting it to use and growing and learning every time. And that ultimately leads to confidence out in the field and within yourself too, is growing your abilities. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone and my managers and my mentors. So thank you.